Assalamualaikum and hi guys, welcome back to Booster. In this video, we will discuss a question about chapter 10. The topic is coordination. So this topic coordination will be asked in PSPM2 under the taxonomic levels C3 and C4. So the marks allocation for this topic is 12.7 over the total mark 80 mark. Okay, in percentage, the coordination topic covered 15.9% of the questions, okay, from the 11 chapters. So 15.9% is covered by coordination. So now we will discuss question. Okay, so we start with question 1. The figure 1 shows transmission of impulse at synapse. So this is the synapse. It consists of presynaptic neuron, then postsynaptic neuron. On the presynaptic neuron, we have the symbol, the label A, B, C. Okay, and it shows the nerve impulse coming. And then we have a narrow region, a gap between the neuron, this region called D. So the question is, name the structure label A, B, C, and D. So we start with A. What is A? So A is it pointed to organelle. So what organelle is that? Yes, it is mitochondrion. For plural, we call mitochondria. Okay, then we move to B. Structure B is what? Okay, so structure B is presynaptic. No. Okay, acceptable to be answered as presynaptic membrane. Okay, next we have a black dot in a vesicles label C. What is C? Okay, we have C. C is neurotransmitter. Okay, neurotransmitter is the common name or general name. Okay, so different synapse may release different kind of neurotransmitter. So you can answer generally. Okay, no need to give a specific answer. Next, D. D is a region. So the region is called synaptic cleft. Okay, a narrow region in between of the two neurons, we call a synaptic cleft. Okay, so we done 1A, now we move to 1B. Define synapse. So what is synapse? So synapse referred to a narrow gap, okay, a region between a synaptic terminal axon. In this case, it referred to presynaptic knob, okay, and a signal receiving portion. A signal receiving portion ni maknanya another region, okay. Okay, so this region maybe adalah neuron or maybe effector. So what is synapse? So synapse is a narrow gap between synaptic terminal axon and another neuron. Okay, so terminal axon ini adalah one neuron, okay, kepada neuron yang lain. So effector, kalau effector tu, kalau effector kat sini bermaksud boleh jadi muscle. Jadi kalau sini adalah muscle, yang lebih tepat adalah neuromuscular junction. So kalau synapse, better to answer a narrow gap between a synaptic terminal axon and a signal receiving portion of another neuron. Okay. Next. Question 1C. Why structure B contains large number of A? A just now is mitochondrion. So mitochondrion function to produce ATP or synthesis ATP. But because it's located in presynaptic node, so this ATP used for what? To synthesis neurotransmitter. Okay, so one mark, only one answer. To produce ATP that will be used in synthesis of neurotransmitter. Okay, or you also can answer as to produce ATP for the reuptake of neurotransmitter. Okay, you can add some more from synaptic cleft to produce ATP for the reuptake of neurotransmitter from synaptic. Okay, next, one example of molecule C. So C is neurotransmitter. So we have many types of neurotransmitter. One of them, okay, dia minta satu je, give one, acetylcholine. So acetylcholine is example of neurotransmitter released at neuromuscular junction. Okay, kalau tak nak jawab acetylcholine, boleh jawab contoh yang lain. So we have another example, dopamine. Okay, so dopamine secreted between the synapse, okay, between the neurons in the brain. So kalau nak jawab dopamine pun boleh. Tapi they ask for one example sahaja. Jadi kalau you give two like this, make sure both are correct. Okay. Why? Because if one is not correct, incorrect, it will cancel the one mark. Okay. Kalau yang acetylcholine betul, tiba-tiba jawapan nombor 2 contoh yang salah. Bukan dopamin, contoh model lain yang salah. So, markah untuk acetylcholine yang satu markah tadi, dia akan terbatal. Okay, next. So, be careful. This apa kata soalan ni kita panggil wrong cancel the right. So, to avoid you lost the mark, just give one example. If they ask one example, just give one example. If they ask two, so give two example. Okay, kalau nak bagi lebih, pastikan semua betul. Okay, then compare the impulse transmission at synapse and along the axon. 3 marks. So when we have the word compare, means you have to write, okay, meaning you have to write differences and similarity. And usually the number of differences, okay, the point to differentiate more than the point of similarity. So it's supposed to have the 3 box sahaja, tapi I give you extra untuk you choose which of the answer yang acceptable, okay? Yang you jawab. Okay, first, kita tengok the first one, differences. Okay? At synapse, impulse is chemically transmitted, while along axon, impulse is electrically transmitted. Okay, so ni adalah one of the answers yang kita akan accept ataupun acceptable answer. If not, okay, we have another choice. At synapse, impulse transmission involve neurotransmitter, while along axon, impulse transmission does not involve neurotransmitter. Okay. Tak ada juga. Kalau tak ada point ni, okay, take a look on another point. Impulse transmission. Okay, at synapse, slow impulse transmission because of neurotransmitter need to diffuse across the synaptic cleft. Okay, while along the axon, impulse transmission is fast. Okay, ditulis itu fast impulse transmission because does not involve neurotransmitter. Okay, or you can answer, make it simple lagi. Impulse transmission at synapse is slower than impulse transmission along axon. Okay. Okay, we have another choice. At synapse involve diffusion of calcium ions into synaptic terminal to activate vesicles, while along the axon does not involve calcium ion, okay, because they not have vesicle, okay, because there is no vesicles can be found along axon. Jadi kalau nak jawab at synapse involve diffusion of calcium ions, while along axon does not involve the diffusion of calcium ion pun diterima. Okay, so from the four choices given here, okay, just choose two. Just choose two. Okay, ini untuk differences. While for the similarity, okay, we have at both region, at synapse and along axon, impulse transmission occur in one direction. At both region, impulse transmitted in one direction. Okay, and ada pilihan lain. We can mention also about at synapse and along axon, both involve the diffusion of sodium ions to depolarize the membrane. Jadi satu markah untuk similarity, dua markah untuk differences. Question 2. Figure 2 shows a mechanism of hormone action. Okay, analyze the figure. Figure ada structure level A, B, C, D, E, and can be seen here GTP, ATP, okay, something convert into E. So what is A, B, and C actually? Identify. So A is the hormone called non-steroid. Okay, kena letak non-steroid hormone. Kalau hormon saja tak boleh, sebab dia ada sebab hormon ni dia ada dua jenis. So it can be steroid, it can be non-steroid. So your answer must be specific because they bind to the receptor on the cell surface. So it is labeled as non-steroid hormone. B. B located in the membrane still, and they can move from A to C. So what is B? Yes, B is G protein. Okay, C, because C is still in the membrane, but they produce something and release into cytoplasm. So that is a clue for adenylyl cyclase. Okay, next. Name the type of hormone action mechanism in figure 2. So what mechanism shown? Okay, because of the passing the signals, okay, in a series of activation. So mechanism in figure 2 known as CAMP activation. Also can be, we can accept also the answer as second messenger activation. Okay, give a reason for your answer. Apa sebab? Okay, we have one very clear reason there. Okay, in which hormone A attached to receptor at the plasma membrane. So obviously we can see this hormone, hormone A, bind to receptor on the external outside of the plasma membrane. State the importance of A and D in the mechanism. What is importance of A in the mechanism? A, importance of A. A just now is non-steroid hormone. So what is the importance of this hormone in the mechanism? Okay, it's important because they act as first messenger. Okay, first messenger for what? To activate G protein. So you must answer act as first messenger to activate G protein. Okay, in turn G protein akan activate the adenylyl cyclase. Ataupun boleh ganti jawapan you dengan act as first messenger to activate B. Okay, next. D. D is something inside the cytoplasm. So, it release daripada conversion of ATP. So we have the clue. D adalah CAMP. Just now kita jawab CAMP. So what is the function of D or CAMP? So it will act as a second messenger. For what? To activate enzymatic activity in cytoplasm. Boleh tambah kat situ. Okay. Act as second messenger to activate enzymatic activities in cytoplasm. Okay. What is the characteristic of A? Okay. A, because they bind to the cell surface. So A is insoluble in lipid or soluble in water. So choose one characteristic. Okay, you can answer as soluble in water or insoluble in lipid. Okay, next. Assume that A is glucagon and the target cell is hepatocyte. Hepa means liver. Cyte is cell. So hepatocyte is liver cell. If B is malfunction, so B tadi G protein, explain what happened to the mechanism in figure 2 after A bind to the receptor on the surface of the target cell. So A example is glucagon. Glucagon travel to the target cell called hepatocyte and then bind to the receptor. Okay, after the bind to receptor, the problem is B is not function. So what happened to the mechanism tadi? So we know B is G protein. If the G protein is not function, so they cannot pass information to the C. Okay, so take a look. The answer is they cannot activate adenylyl cyclase. So if B is malfunction, adenylyl cyclase is not activated. So what is the result ataupun apa kesan dia when the adenylyl cyclase is not activated? So second point is CAMP will not be synthesized. CAMP is not synthesized. Okay, atau CAMP is known as second messenger. Second messenger is not activated. So you can choose either one. Next, what is the effect? Thus, okay, they cannot activate the series of enzyme in cytoplasm, in which this enzyme function dia untuk apa? Untuk activate cellular process to convert glycogen into glucose. So, when the CAMP is not synthesized, glycogen cannot be hydrolyzed into glucose. So, we have 2 marks. Okay, but we have 3 points, so better you write all the 3 points, okay, to get maximum 2 marks. Number 3. Question 3 is essay. Explain the mechanism of impulse transmission across a synapse. So, what is the mechanism? A synaptic transmission. So the arrival of action potential at the synaptic node induces the opening of, when the impulse arrives at synaptic node, induce the opening of voltage gated calcium ion channel, thus allowing the rush of what ion? Calcium ion into the synaptic node. This triggers the fusion of synaptic vesicle containing neurotransmitter to the what? Presynaptic membrane. Presynaptic membrane. So fusion of the vesicle to presynaptic membrane, releasing neurotransmitter into the, okay, this one is synaptic cleft. The neurotransmitter diffuses across the synaptic cleft and bind to the what channel? Ligand-gated ion channel on the what membrane? Postsynaptic membrane, causing it to open. The opening of the ligand-gated ion channels allows the movement of sodium and potassium ion, results in the depolarization of the postsynaptic neuron. Okay. Explain photoperiodism and how phytochrome helps in regulation of flowering. Okay, in the long day plant and in the short day plant, 12 marks. So we start with photoperiodism. Refers. Okay, ini the more to over here you have to state the definition. Okay, photoperiodism refers to plants' physiological response. Response to what? To the relative length of night and day. Okay, so that this is the definition. So photoperiodism is very evident in plants that that live in countries experiencing 4 seasons. Okay, what is one of the pigment that essential in photoperiodism? Okay, what is one of the pigment essential in photoperiodism? So the answer is phytochrome. Okay, it exists in two forms, which is the what form called PR, the active form called what. Okay, so what? So we have clue here, active. So opposite to inactive. PR opposite to PFR. Okay, PR is converted to PFR very quickly during the what? PR convert to PFR during day. Meanwhile, conversion of PFR back to PR during the PFR back to PR. PFR converted to PR when? During the night. Okay, is is what? Meanwhile, conversion of PFR back to PR during the night is over here said very quickly. So here the clue is okay, the given quickly opposite to slow. Plants require what form of phytochrome in order to flower? So what form? Active. Okay, active form. However, different type of plant requires different level of PFR to induce flowering. Long day plant requires long day plant. Okay, the clue is long day plant requires what level of PFR? Yes, high to induce flowering. Meanwhile, short day plants requires what level of PFR to induce flowering? Opposite to high, it is low. Okay. When the day length is long, the short night is length is what for the slow conversion of PFR? Okay. So PFR back to PR conversion is slow. So we need what? The short night length is must be what? For the slow conversion of PFR back to PR. Okay. Not enough. Okay. So because PFR converted to PR slow, very slow, okay, slower. So short night is not enough, okay. So they need a long night, so they can convert to PR balik. Okay, therefore the amount of PFR left because not enough short night is not enough. Sorry, okay, short night tu tak cukup. So PFR convert to PR menyebabkan PFR concentration left. Okay, after the night is over, what happened to the PFR? They remain high. Okay, so in this situation, long day plant will what? Long day plant. Clue is long day plant. PFR. So what to do? PFR remain high in long day plant. It will flower, but okay, meanwhile, short day plant opposite to long day plant will not. Okay, they not produce flower. Okay, when the day length is short, the the long night length provides what? For slow conversion of more PFR. Okay, PFR convert to PR slow. Jadi, a long night is provide is okay, macam mana? The long night length provides extra time. Okay, mencukupi masa dia. extra time for the slow conversion of PFR back to PR. Therefore, the amount of PFR left becomes slow. Why? Because the night is long, even though the PFR converted to PR slowly, but they have enough time, extra time is adequate for the PFR to convert to PR. As a result, the PFR left, okay, becomes slow, okay, or decrease. Okay. In this situation, what plant will flower? Short the plant. Meanwhile, long the plant will not flower. Okay. So that's all from me. I wish you all the best and thank you.